Hey there. Getting ready for that senior occupational therapist interview.
We've got you covered.
We're diving deep today into an Indeed.com UK article. It's all about interview questions for this specific role. And,
Right.
this isn't your average therapy gig. It's
Right.
about taking the lead, managing a team, and handling some pretty complex situations, especially when you're working with patients who are going through a lot.
What's interesting is this shift in focus. You're
Yeah.
not just applying your therapy skills to individual patients anymore.
Right.
You're stepping up to guide a whole team. And that changes how you approach everything.
Right. So the Indeed article starts by laying out these three key qualities employers are looking for: treatment plan development, communication, and interpersonal skills, and of course, leadership and teamwork.
Mhm.
Now, those might sound pretty standard for any senior role, but in occupational therapy, they're especially important.
Think about the environment you're working in. You're dealing with people who are often at a vulnerable point in their lives, needing support to regain function and independence. The stakes are high,
Absolutely.
and your leadership has a direct impact on their recovery and your team's effectiveness.
Indeed dives into a sample question about adapting therapy to a patient's cultural beliefs.
Okay.
It really struck me that this goes way beyond just knowing the techniques. What
Mhm.
are they really getting at with a question like that?
They're looking for a deeper understanding of patient-centered care.
Okay.
Can you put aside your own biases and truly understand the individual needs of each patient?
Right.
It's about demonstrating ethical awareness, the ability to research and learn, and a willingness to tailor your approach to each person's unique circumstances.
Makes sense. Okay, so then they ask about how you measure success, and the sample answer mentions not just patient progress, but also team harmony.
Right.
That stood out to me because it's not just about individual wins, right?
Exactly. It shows a more mature understanding of leadership.
Okay.
You're recognizing that a positive and supportive team environment is crucial to achieving those individual outcomes. It's about fostering collaboration, communication, and mutual respect amongst your team.
And then there's this example that really caught my eye.
Okay.
A therapist used VR to help a patient who was struggling with anxiety.
Interesting.
I'm curious, how does this tie into what a senior OT needs to be thinking about?
It's a brilliant example of connecting the dots between emerging technology and patient needs.
Okay.
As a senior OT, you need to be adaptable and constantly learning,
Mm-hmm.
especially with technology changing healthcare so rapidly. Being able to integrate new tools and approaches like VR in this case
Yeah.
shows you're forward thinking and willing to go the extra mile for your patients.
That's so key, especially when healthcare is evolving so quickly. I mean, there are always new regulations, research findings, and even patient needs are changing.
Absolutely. And that's what makes a senior OT role so challenging and rewarding.
Yeah.
You're not just applying a set of skills, you're constantly adapting and learning to meet the evolving demands of the field
Right.
and provide the best possible care for your patients.
Now, this Indeed article doesn't shy away from the tough questions either.
Okay.
There are some real zingers in there.
Like what?
Like, how would you handle a disagreement within your team?
Uh-huh.
Or how do you deliver difficult news to a patient or their family?
Mm-hmm.
Those feel really high stakes.
It all comes down to those soft skills and emotional intelligence we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Can you navigate conflict constructively?
Right.
Can you communicate with empathy and clarity even in challenging situations? These skills become even more critical in a senior role because you're not just responsible for your own actions, you're setting the tone for your entire team.
I can see how interviewers would be looking closely at those answers. It's
Yeah.
not just about reciting the right steps.
Right.
It's about showing you can think on your feet,
Wow.
manage your emotions, and maintain professionalism under pressure.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You're demonstrating the qualities of a leader
Okay.
who can handle the complexities of a senior role,
Mm-hmm.
inspiring confidence in both your team and the patients you serve. Yeah. And it's not just about reacting to situations.
Yeah.
It's about proactively creating a positive and supportive environment for your team.
Yeah.
So those difficult conversations become easier to navigate.
So it's almost like you're setting the stage for success from day one. I
Exactly.
mean, how would you advise our listener to showcase that kind of proactive leadership in an interview setting?
It starts with preparation.
Okay.
Don't just think about what you've done. Think about why you did it.
Mm-hmm.
What were your goals? How did you approach challenges?
Yeah.
How did you measure your success as a leader? Having concrete examples that demonstrate your leadership style will make a huge impact.
So instead of saying, like, I'm a good communicator,
Right.
you're saying, here's how I use clear communication to resolve a conflict within my team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to talk about the lessons you've learned along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone makes mistakes,
Right.
but it's what you learn from those experiences that truly defines your leadership journey.
That makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
Now, I know we've been focused on those tough questions about handling disagreements and delivering bad news.
Right.
But this Indeed article also touches on going above and beyond in your role. What does that look like for a senior OT?
It's about taking ownership,
Okay.
not just of your individual responsibilities, but of the overall success of your team and the well-being of your patients.
Right.
It might mean staying late to help a colleague finish a report,
Uh-huh.
or volunteering to take on a challenging case.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating a deep commitment to your work and a willingness to go the extra mile to make a positive impact.
So it's that extra level of dedication that really sets a senior OT apart. I can see how that would impress interviewers.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it ties back to the core values of occupational therapy:
Yeah.
empathy, compassion, and a genuine desire to help people regain their independence and live fulfilling lives.
You know, as we're talking about all these qualities, it strikes me that this advice isn't just for aspiring senior OTs. Is it? A lot of these insights apply to anyone aiming for a leadership position, regardless of their field.
You're absolutely right. The principles of effective leadership transcend specific industries.
Yeah.
Whether you're managing a team of therapists, engineers, or marketers, the ability to communicate clearly,
Mm-hmm.
build trust, and foster a positive environment is essential for success.
That's a really encouraging takeaway. It means this deep dive is valuable for anyone who's looking to step into a leadership role and make a real difference.
And it highlights the importance of continuous learning and self-reflection.
Okay.
The best leaders are those who are always seeking to improve their skills and adapt to new challenges.
Yeah.
They're open to feedback, they're willing to take risks, and they're constantly pushing themselves to grow.
So it's not just about reaching that senior level, it's about continuing to evolve and learn even when you're at the top.
Exactly. Leadership is a journey, not a destination.
Speaking of journeys, this deep dive has taken us through a lot of insightful territory. We've covered the key qualities employers look for in a senior OT, how to effectively showcase those qualities, and even how to navigate those tricky moments that can pop up during an interview.
Now, we've talked about the importance of being prepared,
Right.
being authentic, and being passionate about the work you do.
But there's one question I still have.
Yeah.
You've given us so much great advice on how to showcase our skills and experience.
Mm-hmm.
But what about those moments when we might stumble in an interview?
Uh-huh.
What if we blank on a question or get flustered by a tough scenario?
Those moments are inevitable, even for the most seasoned professionals.
Mm-hmm.
But it's how you handle those situations that truly matters.
So what's the best way to recover from a stumble like that in an interview?
The key is to stay calm and composed.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Hmm.
Acknowledge that you might need a moment to gather your thoughts,
Yeah.
and then re-engage with the interviewers.
So it's okay to say something like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
Exactly. It shows self-awareness and a willingness to pause and reflect,
Yeah.
rather than rushing into an answer that you might regret later.
Right.
And remember, interviewers are looking for someone who is human, not a robot.
Mm-hmm.
It's those moments of vulnerability that can actually make you more relatable and memorable.
That's a great point. It takes the pressure off trying to be perfect all the time.
And it allows you to showcase your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Even if you don't have the perfect answer on the spot,
Yeah.
you can demonstrate your ability to think critically and work through a challenge.
I love that perspective. It's not about avoiding mistakes altogether. It's about showing how you handle them with grace and professionalism.
Precisely. And it ties back to that idea of continuous learning.
Right.
Even in an interview setting,
Yeah.
you're demonstrating your willingness to grow and adapt, which are essential qualities for any leader.
This has been such an insightful deep dive into the world of senior occupational therapy interviews.
It has.
We've explored the key qualities employers are looking for, how to effectively showcase those qualities,
Right.
and even how to navigate those tricky moments that can pop up during an interview.
And we've talked about the importance of being prepared, being authentic, and being passionate about the work you do.
So for our listener, if you're prepping for that senior OT interview, remember to go in with confidence, knowing that you have the skills, the experience, and the heart to excel in this role.
And if you're in another field, keep these insights in mind as you navigate your own leadership journey,
Right.
because the principles of effective leadership are universal.
That's such an important reminder that no matter where you are in your career, there's always room for growth and development.
Absolutely.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I'll leave you with this thought.
What if you approached your next interview not as a test, but as an opportunity to share your passion, your expertise, and your unique perspective with the world?
That's a fantastic way to reframe the experience.
Mhm.
It's not about proving yourself, it's about connecting with others and sharing your gifts.
And who knows, that connection could lead to amazing opportunities.
Absolutely. So go out there with confidence and let your light shine. You got this.
Best of luck.